Right, we're moving on to Bill Higgins at Wilderley Hall Farms. Bill is very kindly going to talk to us about how our herd has consistently achieved world-class lifetime daily yields. Bill is there in lovely sunny Shropshire, although he has had a bit of rain, I think, because he's managed to do his first cut silage, which we're all very envious of. Bill and his family have previously won the RABDF Gold Cup, and they take a real pride in their milk quality and yield. Bill is going to share with us the secrets of his success in achieving a world-class milk yield. So stay tuned for ADF Milk founder James Duke afterwards, who'll be revealing their exciting new technology which will revolutionise your milking. So Bill, thanks ever so much for joining us this evening, and I'll hand over to you. Thank you.
Okay. Cheers everybody, and a special cheers to James Duke from Andrew and myself. Just before I start the presentation, we put the ADF in. We're trying to work it out today. We're not sure. It's something like 2006 or 2008 we first went with ADF, but we can't remember. So we're on our second system. It's been refitted in 2014. So yeah, so brief intro to the business. That's Andrew on the left, me on the right. So we run it's a 3-generation family business. We try to keep things simple and protocol driven as a business. So we try to maintain standards. We try to organize everything. We try to have a plan for everything. We try to protocol everything so that we can attract, employ, and continue to employ fantastic people. We're very fortunate to have a wonderful team of staff around us. A lot of them have been with us a very long time now, and they don't want to go away. But most of those type of people want to milk really good cows that are high yielding, don't get sick, and ADF has played a part in that. If you'd like to move on to the next slide, please, Jade. So roughly 527 cows, as you can all read, 13,542 litres sold at 3.9 fat, 3.27 protein, which is getting us to 998 kilos of solids. Hopefully at the end of April, we should just about crack the 1,000 kilos, which will be the first time for us. Again, we try to run a simple system. So we've got one milker diet, one dry cow diet, and one young stock diet. Milker diet is based around grass silage. We do 5 cuts of grass silage. And as Karen's mentioned, we've just fortunate enough managed to whip off first cut Sunday, and started picking up Sunday night and finished Monday. So that's in the bank, and we're really, really pleased with that. It looks really, really good. So it's 5 cuts of silage, but principally the milkers have first cut and second cut, a little bit of 5th cut, and then 3rd cut grass silage is our fibre source. We replace the chopped straw in the diet. So we're running about 3.5 kilos of 3rd cut silage to give us our fibre background. It's then made up with Trafford Gold, soda wheat, bread, soya, rape meal, minerals, golden flake, yeast, and water. So we wet those diets down to about 42% dry matter. The main aim of what we're trying to do consistently as a team is to actually let the cow do what she really wants to do. So we're there just to actually, at the beck and call, to support the cow and try to give her every chance that we possibly can to do what she naturally wants to do. So we really focus on maximizing time to eat, time to drink, and time to lay down. So from that point of view, all the water tanks are cleaned out once a week. We've actually fitted 30 something meters of feed barrier away from the parlour, but in that holding area, whilst we're scraping up, bedding down and feeding, so that cows, as soon as they exit the parlour, they can go straight out onto water and then straight onto feed. That barrier is now providing, and we can't get our heads around it, we're struggling to get the food in it. They're taking 20% of their daily intake within the milking time in that barrier, because literally they want to come out the parlour, they want to drink, they want to eat. So we're trying to maximise their time and their ability to eat. We were involved in a trial with Nottingham University about housed cows. I should have mentioned that we milk 3 times a day, obviously, and they're fully housed. We were averaging over 14 hours a day lying times for our cows, even though we're not running a particularly big parlour, which I'll come on to. Next slide, please, Jade. So parlour's been in since 1995. It's not flash, keeps getting added to, tidied up, extra bits. As I said, ADF was refitted in 2014. So from a milk quality point of view, 13 back to scan, 82 cell count, 22 cases of mastitis in the last year, which works out at 4.2 cases per 100 cows. We use no antibiotics at drying off. It's teat sealant only now. We stopped using antibiotics at drying off because basically the tubes kept going out of date because we were tubing so few. So we've just given it up now so we don't bother. The milking routine is very simple. It's literally, we brush the cow's teats with a Northern Dairy brush. We allow a 85-second time delay between brushing and cupping up. The important things, the golden rules of how we milk our cows is no touching the teats, no staph. The only teats that are actually touched by hand are fresh cows and mastitis cows. So fresh cows is to remove the orbicele, and mastitis cows, obviously, to strip and see what's going on. We have low yield monitors in the parlour to actually flag up if there's a problem. And obviously, we've got some really good staff who are really all over it. And, you know, machine comes off low yield. They can feel when they're actually brushing the cow's teats as well. You can feel different tone in the udder as well. So it is normal. It's a 22-22 parlour. They can still put through, even with our yields, in the good going, they can put through 170 cows an hour. And an overall average, they do about 130 to 140 because we group the fresh cows. We have a fresh cow group on cubicles and a special care unit, which is for the older cows with big bags when they calve and anybody who needs a bit of TLC on a loose yard. We've also separated out the 22 slowest cows and moved them out of the main herd into what was our original fresh cow accommodation, which is, it's okay, but it's not as good as what we've got now. And we took them out of the main milking group because obviously with random slow cows in the size, it was slowing down milking time. Started that slow cow group. And interesting enough, that slow cow group will eat 75 kilos of food apiece and produce an average of 50 litres. And they take over 10 minutes to milk. But what it did was it knocked out 20 minutes of milking, enabled us to milk another 50 cows. So milking times are 5 in the morning, 1 o'clock at lunchtime, 8 o'clock at night. So we can milk the cows. Normally it's 2 in the parlour in the day and 1 out on the yard scraping and shifting cows. On a night we drop down to 2, but we don't change any of the routine. The ADF has given us a real big hand with consistency, and obviously it's been in there a long time, but we know that those cows' teats are actually getting dipped 3 times a day at 11 o'clock at night when nobody's looking. We get that quality, we don't get the cross-contamination, and you know, we get fantastic reliability out of it. Next slide, please, Jade. I'm going to do a short and sweet presentation because I like to be, I let people have questions, but this picture speaks 1,000 words really, and it's about actually giving the cows what they want, and it's giving them somewhere nice to live and plenty of clean water, plenty of food and no stress. So as you can see, we're pulling 3,710 litres of forage at the moment, and our lifetime daily yield currently is 20.53 kilos. It is, as I said earlier on, it is down to having a fantastic team of staff around us who buy into what we're trying to achieve. You know, me and Andrew lead from the front, and to surround ourselves with these guys is guys and ladies is fantastic. So yeah, so thank you to them. So that's it. That's me, short and sweet, and see what anybody's got to say.
Thank you so much, Bill. That was absolutely fantastic. What a great run through. And just prior to coming online, I did notice your article in British Dairying as well. So I'd urge you all to have a quick read of that as well. Very, very interesting. Thank you ever so much for that. We do have a few questions, if that's okay, Bill. So I don't know who this is from, but would you say that cow comfort is just as important as the rest of the milking routine?
Yeah, cow comfort is everything, because you want that cow to lie down as much as possible, because when she's lying down, she's making milk and she's happy, she's cudding. So you're trying to optimize. Cow comfort is everything. We have two main cow buildings, and one which is fantastic. It's a good shed, but it is a traditional shed with a central feed passage with 2 rows of cubicles. That shed compared to the shed I've just shown you there, which has got 2 rows of head-to-head cubicles, there is nearly 1.5 litres a day difference between the 2 sheds, simply from wider passageways, better comfort, better cubicle design, and more barrier space.
And do you bed on the same in both sheds? Yeah,
but the one is converted cubicles. There's nothing wrong with them. It's great. The cows do really, really well in there. But you know, this is a more up-to-date version. They're purpose-built, sand-built cubicles. So yeah, with a nice, there's a nice curve on the back. So what we've done in the other shed is we've taken out the mat. They were pasture mats, put 6-inch angle iron on the back, and deep filled them with sand.
Amazing, brilliant. So, but it goes to show that you can retrofit things, doesn't it? You don't always
you don't
always have to smash a building down and start again.
Not everything we do is a cow palace. We've got plenty of old buildings that we make work.
Brilliant, that's fantastic. Thank you. Helen Dutton has just asked what your calving interval is, please.
Oh, that's a good one. It's just over 400 days. So, days in milk is 200 if anybody wants to ask that question, because we have a bit of sport with that. So we don't serve cows after 6 lactation, we just let them milk on. So quite a few of them will go on to 1,000 days, 1,100 days. So we don't get excited about that because the cows have got persistency and we're able to look after them. So we sent a cull off today and she'd done over 135 tons. She'd done 33,500 kilos in her last lactation, which was 785 days. So yeah.
So chair's prerogative then. What's your average lactation number? Like how long do cows stay in your herd roughly?
Replacement it's 23% our cull rate is. So yeah.
Fantastic. I don't want to get this wrong, but Sayaka, I think this is. Do your cows ever step outside, Bill?
Every day. Every day, because they all have loafing yards, and they don't go on grass, but they have all of the adult animals have loafing yards and outside space. It's very important to have that outside space. We're an unusual farm. Quite a few people have been to visit us over the years, but the road goes straight through the middle of the farm. Cows exit the part onto a yard which is next to the road. Anybody and everybody can see what we're doing. They can see into the calving yards. They can see into the fresh cow yards. They can see everything we're doing. It's all on show. The cows walk past the road, next to the road. Anybody can see what we're doing.
Perfect. Angela's just asked, what was the name again of the brush that you use pre-milking, as that seems key to your low somatic cell counts? I never let anybody run away with the fact that it's one particular thing. There is lots of things that we do that add to the whole picture. So it's a Northern Dairies brush. So, Northern Dairies brush. There we go.
It's a motorized brush which actually puts warm water and paracetic onto the teats. So and it literally is just scrubbing the teats, and it is obviously sanitizing them, but it's also stimulating the milk letdown. But the crucial thing is stopping people touching teats and having the sufficient milk letdown time. Because there's no point in cupping a cow up that's not ready to let the milk down. So you need that lag. So we would normally, in a team of 2, brush, leave a 5 cow, delay, and then cup up. So yeah, work as a team of 2.
Amazing, brilliant. And how do you ensure that you keep a consistent level of milk quality? Is it all of those factors that you've just described? And
well, Andrew's a breeder and I'm a feeder, so between us we come at it in 2 different directions. So I work alongside a guy called Wilderley, who's been our nutritionist for a number of years, and it is about presenting the same diet every day, a really, really good diet, having good forages and consistency. James feeds the cows most of the time, does a fabulous job, and me and Andrew back him up as well and cover him. So yeah, it's about consistency. Bore them to death with a really, really good diet.
That's what they want, and that's what their rumens want, definitely.
It is, yeah.
Max Mitchell has just asked, what is your mastitis treatment protocol, please?
So we would look at supportive care. So this is going outside, like I said, I'm a feeder, so it's a little bit outside of my my usual scope, but basically we would do supportive care. Initially, if we got somebody with some clots, we will monitor it and we'll go in with pain relief. We then will go in with, ultimately, if we have to treat them, we'll go with an antibiotic tube, and then we will start, we'll see if they need drenching, whatever supportive care they need. Normally, most cows only need 9 tubes. So it is literally a tube. We don't use any injectables to back it up. We have very little E. coli. So it is a tetradelta tube, and it's mainly pain relief. So it is caliprofen, ketofen, whatever you want to call it, whatever's your choice of pain relief, but it's mainly pain relief. And as James earlier said, if the cow is in a good environment, having a good diet, it is healthy and strong, they will deal with that and get over it. And antibiotics is probably going to do them more harm than good, generally speaking.
I probably shouldn't compare myself to a cow, Bill, but having suffered mastitis myself, I'm so heartened that your first port of call is pain relief for that cow, because it does hurt.
It is. We years ago we used a lot of antibiotics. Now we use a lot of pain relief, because basically all there to do is to support them, to give them a chance to do what they want to do.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. Just one more question: how did winning the Gold Cup affect you and your farm?
Me and Andrew always joked about sticking our head above a parapet. So very, very proud moment in our career. Dad has always followed it closely, and it's one of his key aims in life was to win it. And for us to be able to deliver it was, so cool. So what it does is introduce you to a wider sphere of people and get you through doors that you never thought you could walk through. It's a fantastic thing. It's a fantastic achievement. And, we're just a couple of, we're just a bunch of people on the side of a hill having a go, so it's cool.
Well, I think that's very modest of you. I think you're doing an exceptionally good job there, Bill. Just one final question before we have to move on. Helen Dutton's just asked, do you feed twice or once a day, Bill?
I feed twice a week if I'm lucky, but anyway, yeah. No, we feed once a day. It is literally once a day feeding. So,
and then from a nutritionist perspective, I'll take Chair's prerogative here. How often do you push up feed?
Oh, God. Yeah, we're really anal about that stuff. So we push up probably 6 times a day at least, but we're into, we gather up all the rejects every day on the open fronted barriers, and we weigh back the rejects, because the rejects go as the basis of our heifer diet. So we target 3% rejects, and we clear up all the rejects, because I don't want the cows to ever run out of food, because that's a big no-no. So we target 3% rejects, clear that up, and put that into as the basis for 150 heifers for their basic diet, which is then diluted down with fifth cut, chopped straw, and rape meal and minerals. So so it is about having the cow having the time to eat all the food she wants to eat. So they're clearing over 28 dry matter kilos, nearly 15.2 kilos of that is forage. It's about them having the time to do the job that they want to do.
Oh, I've just thought of loads of questions, but I know that Natalie's going to be on my case in a minute. Honestly, what a fantastic panel of farmers you've got in front of us here, James. It's so exciting. Bill, thanks ever so much for your time and for your honesty. And if we get a chance, we might come back and ask a few more questions afterwards, if that's okay.